it's Denise from Minty Green Mama, and I am back again for day 29 of the 31 Days of Tarot Challenge. And yeah, it's today's tarot deck modifications, and it is, how do you feel about tarot deck modifications? Do you draw on your decks, trim them, or is it a no-go for you, and why? So I have actually never modified a tarot deck, and it's weird, for the longest time it didn't even occur to me to even do that. And then I would see, some people's decks after they've modified them, and I thought, wow, that looks really cool. But I was still afraid to do it on my decks because I just didn't want to mess them up. I like the way that they looked, and I think it's a great thing to do. I just didn't want to mess up my cards. But I have seen a lot of really cool inspirational YouTube videos recently on the channels Boho Tarot and Shuffle Tarot, and so I thought, well, let me find a deck that if I if I did mess up, it wouldn't be the end of the world, So I decided to start. I was going to start with the Marielle Tarot because I really want those borders trimmed. I see my cat back there acting all funny. But I didn't want to mess up my Marielle. And because it's really not, because I want to keep that deck and work with it, and it's not a very, it's not that inexpensive, I guess you could say, as far as decks go. It's not too bad, but, so I had pulled this deck out the other day, the 8 Coins Tattoo Tarot, to set aside because I hadn't really connected with this deck yet. I hadn't worked with it a whole lot, but I just really hadn't connected with it, and I thought, you know what? I'm trying to clear out some decks because I am going to get a few more, and I want to try to make room. And I just thought, this would be a good deck to trim, because I have seen in different videos people's decks, their 8 Coins Tattoo Tarot that they have trimmed, and how good it looked. And I thought, what's the worst that could happen? I could mess this deck up, and I hadn't really connected with it anyway, so, not that big a deal. But the best case scenario is I could really connect with this deck by trimming it, because I'd be handling, and looking at all of the cards and getting more familiar with it. And by trimming it and rounding the corners and edging it, I will get experience doing that, and that'll be great. And I might just like it so much when I'm done that I'll start using this one more, because I like the images. So I just feel like that is going to be that'd be a good experiment for me. So yes, because the borders on here, to be honest, borders don't really bother me that much, unless it's a huge card. For example, I would love to trim the Everyday Enchantment Tarot, because it has these really thick colored borders, and it's just the colors that kind of throw me off a little bit, because they mean something, so that's great, and you can use them that way. So nothing wrong with that, but I kind of would like to take those off, because they're also really big to hold. But again, I don't want to mess those up, so I'm like, let me try on these, because the borders don't really bother me, but what, it's not going to hurt anything to trim them. I guess that's my point. It's not going to hurt anything to trim this deck, so I'm going to try it. So the answer is, what do I think of tarot modifications? Is I think they're awesome, but I just haven't ever done one yet, and so I have just been really inspired as of late to give it a try, and so I'm going to do that and see how it turns out. So that is my story about tarot modifications, and I will see you again tomorrow. All right, bye.